Excellent.
Yes, he just can't seem to get enough. Marco Minnemann, who we have right here, I think has been on Drum Talk TV more times than I have.
That sounds about right. I'm running the show, actually, in fact.
That's right. So, do you remember what questions you want to ask me?
Yeah, I want to ask you about the background that you have. It's actually quite beautiful.
The background. Folks, you may notice this does look different. And if you missed the interview earlier today, as we're recording, what freaking day is this? December 10th, broadcasting live, actually, we had Dave Ketchum on from Coney Hatch, legendary Canadian band. And I set this up like last minute because my office got completely dismantled. I'm painting, putting in a floor, blah. And I thought, yeah, I don't want it to look like I'm broadcasting from prison. Not that I know what that looks like, but Marco tipped me up because he knows.
Wait, of course. That's where I write all my songs.
So here we are.
Constructed prison cells.
Exactly. Marco, this album, okay, I'm going to come clean. I have said for the last 2 or 20 years, I've not kept track, that while we have celebrated music 40-year, 50-year anniversaries of Led Zeppelin, yes, Genesis, King Crimson, goes on and on and on, right? These anniversaries. And I've said, I don't think music these days will have that kind of impact on people. And you and very, 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 very few people have recently proved me wrong. And I've got your album up here still because I've been listening to it over and over all day. NEKO, Team NEKO.
Yeah.
And this album blends so many things. I'm so excited to talk about this. And when Steven, our producer, and I do albums, we start with the packaging. And while I don't have the physical album, I do have the digital version. So I'm going to start with the packaging. And I love, love, love the anime feel, plus a kitty, because we have, 6 rescues, 2 cats, 4 dogs. And we're big on that. So just the way this is presented and the music that's included really, I think, bridges genres and generations. A son-in-law of ours, Jimmy Ortega, really got me into lo-fi. So there's not really lo-fi on here, but there are sounds of Asian pop influence. There's sounds of Asian progressive and metal influence. There's European and American prog and fusion influences. It's like this might be a musical stew that I've ever heard the most ingredients of that actually fit together. So first, tell us how this came about. We'll take comments, questions, and then I want to cite a few songs and how they resonated with me differently.
Yeah. So I think, that album, I'm incredibly proud of that result. And I think it's really different in a way than anything else I've done before. And I really like the energy of that album came together, quite intensely, but beautifully, so the songs, all hopefully capture you in the first seconds, and I really wanted to create that kind of vibe. It felt right. And I really have to thank Kotono, who is a singer and dancer from Japan. She used to be in the band Baby Metal. She was the dancer.
That voice, oh my gosh, what a discovery to incorporate with this album. That voice is amazing.
Oh, I'm sure she's glad to hear that. And so, she had also the band Koyai, and then, some other bands. She was in a band called Iron Bunny before. So and I think, her voice is very special, and also she's a great dancer. And the thing is, she is...
Wait, I gotta say, which is convenient, being that this is a dance mix album.
Yeah, exactly right. It's topping the techno charts right now around the world. Exactly. And the moon and Mars and Venus. No, but
really.
Thank you. But It was very cool because she does not do anything she doesn't like. So she has to stand fully behind it. And that was sort of the vibe. She appreciated
Integrity.
it. And I kept kind of writing that material because I liked it too. It was like we became really dear friends with the band Baby Metal. And those are like your dear friends. And I'm dear friends with the girls as well, with Moa, Sue, and Momo. And I've seen now many shows and we started talking and stuff. But that's also like Cotono's home a little bit. And so it was just fun writing these songs, and the energy was right. And then incorporating, beautiful people like Liv Beale, who has like this band Sugar Fix, and she is amazing. And all of a sudden, all these people connected. And then I had like some fantastic guitar players like Bumblefoot, Ron Thal, who was up for that. My guitar player Guthrie Govan. Then there's Mariko Muranaka from the Hans Zimmer Operation. She is fantastic on cello. And then there is, I'm forgetting someone, Jess Lewis, an incredible guitar player from England. She is wonderful. She has like this great musical sensibility. And then not to forget, Jaco Pastorius' nephew, David Pastorius, is on that album.
What a great job he did too, living up to the family legacy.
I think so. And then Achivo, she's that's her name, her artist name. She is an anime creator from Japan. And I thought it was really wonderful because when the song came together, and I had one song which is called Cat, which was a song which I started years ago, but it sort of existed as a demo on one of the albums. I never finished it before, and now I finished it. And Cat.
How long ago was that?
Oh, that was all the songs are brand new. That song, the idea I wrote already 20 years ago.
Wow.
For that song. But I never really fully finished it. But I came across that song and I got reminded of something. I was like, hang on, that song is actually kind of cool. And I played it for Coton and she really liked it. I was like, you know what? I'm going to finish that song. I'm going to extend it. I make a new arrangement. I kind of insert new parts. And cat translated in Japanese is NEKO. And so we had this beautiful, and it's such a Japanese theme. And when I saw the artwork of Achivo, I went on her page because it's Kosono's cousin. They're family, they're relatives. So that's her cousin. And so I saw that painting and I said, like, hang on, that fits perfectly to the title. It was basically the universe sort of told us what to do. It was literally the universe gave the input, and I couldn't be happier, more happy with the result, I have to say. And I think the songs have a uplifting energy, like a aggression, which is in the most positive sense. It's very cool, I think, and and here it is. And also, what I really think was important, I didn't want to write like 10 or 12 songs for that album. I wanted to really keep it as a compact album, just like the bands, and what connects very well to what you said earlier. When you listen to some of my favorite bands like Led Zeppelin, Queen, Van Halen, The Police, albums by that time were like 32 minutes long, something like that.
Right.
And they were and this album is 37 or 38 minutes long, and one track is actually a different mix, but when you take it out, it is exactly album length. And I love it. You can concentrate on the songs. The songs are some are fairly lengthy. They're all about like 5 to 7 minutes in that region. And I thought the statement was made, after I wrote the last piece of it. And I was like, which is called Act Wrong, which is the title track also. Not the title track, no, which is the opening track.
Right.
And I thought like, okay, we're done. This is good. And there you go.
And then as I listened to this, and some people have accused me of, I'm just going to say it, kissing ass, but I'm going to say it. As I listened to this, the first track was like, okay, I don't need to hear the rest, but I will. But this is my favorite one. Second track. Okay, wait. Second track. This is my favorite. Okay, wait. Third track. And as I go down the track list, like literally, as I listen to these, Act Wrong.
Yeah.
Just love that. Oh my God.
Thank you.
And then Irony, I thought, no. I know Marco, he's extremely talented on bass, guitar, drums, and kazoo and accordion. There's no way he'll top this, right? And then, but something stayed. I'm like, okay, wait a minute. But the song that really, really just said, was Kill the Horror.
Yeah.
And part of the reason was it had elements, and I always hesitate because an artist has one vision and feeling of what they created, and sometimes the way it's interpreted by listeners might not fit that. So excuse me if this doesn't fit, but Kill the Horror had these elements of like a anime video game soundtrack. It was just like all these changes and the hits and the ba 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 ba. It was amazing. And
thank you.
That's this track that really got me. And then the bridge just floats out into a whole different thing. Folks, you got to hear this album. And I take those words back. My point is I take those words back that I've said for the last few years that, I don't think music will endure that's happening now for the next, like, sounds like an old 60-something curmudgeon. Oh, wait a minute, I'm 60-something, but hopefully not a curmudgeon. So there's one other there's one other guy trying to make it in the business that you decided to include. I mean, like, let's give this guy Alex Zurjinovich.
Oh, that's right.
Lifeson. That's right. Alex Lifeson. That's him.
That's right. I almost forgot to mention.
He was in a 3-piece quinceañera, bar mitzvah, and other kind of band. Like, can you talk?
Yeah, I know. That's so funny, and I forgot to mention because he's on many of my albums prior to that, and we did like a collaboration before. But yeah, Alex, he has like a great sensibility for good guitar tones. I love what he does, and it fit very well into that one song, which is the title track this time, NEKO.
Yeah,
and I just used like some of his reverse guitar solos and some of his Fernandez sustainer guitar tones that he kind of developed, and I thought that fit brilliantly into the vibe. And
so as a great guitar player yourself, and I mean that.
Yeah.
Can you talk about Alex's? You're welcome. Can you talk about Alex's tone and the gear that he used to get those sounds?
Yeah. Well, he has like a bunch of things. He uses, first of all, like a lot of analog amps, which is not, common anymore when you kind of think about it.
But it's
and
still
there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it. They are beautiful. They are beautiful tones you get. But he is very, and I mean this in the most positive way, old school with this kind of stuff. He knows exactly how, but the tones are not. They're always great. They're timeless. Yeah. And when he delivers tracks, it's more, he gives you options. He kind of, comes with like 10 to 13 tracks or 14. And then, he offers a reverse guitar here. Here's an acoustic guitar doubled with that. There's like a reverse solo. Here's a different one. There's a sustainer noise. And he gives you this entire arrangement you can actually kind of pick and choose from,
He really immerses himself in the process, doesn't he?
Yeah. I love it. He kind of sees his guitar work is more like an arrangement, pretty much, like a guitar arrangement. I love that. It's very cool. And I think the same goes for Jess Lewis, who's on that album. She just delivers like wonderful, orchestrated guitar tracks, like a bunch of options and things that you can fit into the song. And I love that way of working. And then you obviously have like great players. Well, they're all great players. Players like, Bumblefoot or Guthrie, who deliver like some of the most amazing solo work that you ever kind of hear in your life. Yeah. And that's their kind of thing that they deliver. They were like, okay, I'm gonna play the guitar solo here and that, and then you get this guitar solo that you just basically put in, and you go like, yep, I'm happy that nothing needs to be redone.
Right. It's interesting what you say about Alex, because I don't know if they did this in the latter days of Rush, but in the old days of Rush, as you probably know, and most people who know Rush know this or know about Alex, he would record a bunch of different guitar solos for a song. They'd kick him out of the studio, and then Geddy and the engineer, maybe Neil from time to time, would piece it together. And then they'd come up with the album. Then he'd have to learn it to go on tour, because it was bits and pieces of the different versions he did. So it's interesting to learn that his his modus operandi really hasn't changed, where he immerses himself, gives different options, versions, and feels different things, that
Absolutely
fit, right, and leaves it up to someone like you, the producer and the artist. Who'd you get to play drums on this? Oh, wait
I'm
a
not
minute.
sure. It's like some guy from Germany, I suppose. So it's pretty good. Maybe.
I when I was listening to the album, I realized a question I never asked you. Out of the 64 times you've been on Drum Talk TV,
right.
Who was or who were your influences on your double bass work? Because the double bass work on this is great. It's not overdone. It's not in every song, but when it's done, it stands out. Who are your influences for that style?
Interesting. I never really thought about that much. But when I started playing double kick, I must have been around 14, 15 years old when the first double kick pedals came out. And then I had also 2 kick drums. So I started to learn actually from George Lawrence Stone's stick control and took like the patterns that I was playing with my hands between this side, that side, this side, and that side, and then with the feet as well. And that's so I learned like combinations. That was from that book, basically. I always wanted to learn the rudiments with that, and I incorporate these. But obviously, players I've listened to in my teenage years who were using double bass were like the metal guys, of course, So, but also like Simon Phillips, and Terry Bozzio, and
well, I'm not familiar, but I'll check.
Yeah. Those are like some. They're all right. No, they're more than all right. Obviously, they're like some of my idols and will always remain.
Absolutely,
fantastic, influential players. Vinny Colaiuta, even though he was not known as the double bass guy, he can play double kick as well, of course.
Right.
And then obviously bands like Slayer, they had the double kick. Everybody was,
Dave Lombardo.
Rain and Blood came out, or Angel of Death. Everybody was going like, "Holy cow, this is fast!" So you go in and kind of learn that. Those were like definitely influences on double kick. Barrymore Barlow from Jethro Tull.
Oh my gosh, one of my favorites. The album Bursting Out. I just listened to 2 days ago. I played the whole album while I was working and dismantling my office. I just love that album. The Blue Ludwig Acolytes. Oh my god.
Yeah. Amazing. Yeah. And he did stuff, I have to say now that I think of, he was the first guy where I heard double bass that was like, wow, what the hell? When he did on Conundrum on the drum solo.
Oh, I was just going to say that.
Nobody that I know of did that before, So that to me, like very in general, is a very underrated drummer.
Yeah, we're talking
he's not underrated. He played on great Jethro Tull albums, but he should be talked more about.
Absolutely. I want to get to some comments. Let's see. We've got Chris. I don't know what he means by this, but yeah, there we go. Chris Jellybeard.
I know that guy.
Yeah. Oh, explain.
Chris, he's our booking agent for Asia and
nice. Hey,
Asia,
Chris,
and does also management work for us.
Oh, nice.
Good to see him. Good to see him here.
Here's our producer and our youngest of 11 kids. Is Stephen Schindler says this might sound like kind of a basic comment, but the opening track I could imagine being the opening theme song to an action-driven anime. Me too.
Yeah.
And we haven't talked about this. Because some of those shows have amazing songs that blend pop, and I totally agree. Steven's got a lot of my DNA.
I love it.
Yeah,
Hi, Steven. There you go.
I totally agree. And Daniel Philpott in my neighboring town of Miami, Arizona said and Drum Talk Man interviewing the man, excited for the album. Yeah, great stuff. How long did it take to put all this together, Marco?
Believe it or not, that was one of the fastest albums I've ever written and produced.
Last weekend? Last weekend?
I did it just a few days before the interview, just right before. No, it was obviously a little bit of time, but I pretty much wrote the entire album within 2 months and recorded it and mixed it.
Wow! And did you?
The ideas came out pretty much boom. Sometimes you have these visions that are fairly strong and impactful, and then you just need to let it out and
Brain
don't
dump.
and keep
Yeah.
the ball rolling. That's when you get like a cohesive album that sounds like, you know, a concept, you know.
Because it's totally organic. You get a download from the universe and a brain dump, and then there you go. So how much of it, percentage wise, was literally written out versus giving people the latitude to extemporaneously just, you know, barf their solos out? Or
no, that album is pretty has a lot of love to detail. There's nothing left to chance, as you can probably hear in the songs.
Yeah,
they are like very through composed.
Yeah,
the solo spots that were given to the wonderful players who participated are obviously theirs. You know,
right. Alex,
I never
Bumblefoot,
tell a
etc.
soloist to play my solo that I hear inside of my head, because
Yeah.
then I can do it myself. So, you know,
Right.
or have them kind of, can you please play, you know, how I hear what you should be about? I never do this. I kind of, you know, give the biggest love to those players and respect. And as you can see, the results, I think, are wonderful. Like when you hear, like,
Oh yeah.
you know, what these guys, what all these wonderful people delivered, I thought that's cool. So that's Ultimate Freedom. The rest of the songs of the song is pretty much through composed. Yeah.
That's awesome. Let me go to the notes here. I have to say that where is it? Kotono, I hope I'm pronouncing her name right.
Correct.
Her Kotono, her voice is amazing on this. I mean, what an interesting interjection of flavor you've included, and it carries through the entire album.
Yeah.
And my big question, of course, I'm sure you know this is coming. When are you going on tour?
When are we going on tour? Huh?
You cannot put something like this out there without giving it a physical presentation. It's so good.
Yeah, if I want to lose money, then I go on the road with this.
Well, we welcome. I mean,
no,
well,
no, I'm just kidding.
I know, but I mean, with David, you know, I'm looking at the lineup again. You've got Kotono, you've got yourself, you got, of course, Guthrie, you've got David Pastorius. I mean, this whole lineup, sans maybe Alex Lifeson, because he might be busy with this.
Or with this little trio, right?
Fucking trio thing he's doing, yeah. But other than that, like, I want to see this presented live. It's so good. And
that would be really fun. That would be really fun. It's it was kind of designed to be a studio project with all these players. You know, getting these people all out, you know, to perform together might be a bit difficult. But yeah, hey, you never know. You never know. But the thing is, the album is doing already very well, and the physical release is not even out yet. We just released it on Bandcamp, and I was amazed how much love it received sales-wise as well. It's like a lot of people were buying it. I was like, whoa. Because you know how it is these days. It's like everybody is kind of already used to kind of seeing stuff for free and accepting it, and they like it and they comment well. But really, people gave it so much love, and I think that's one of my best-selling works so far. So please keep buying it so I can print the picture disc I promised. I'm gonna do like a vinyl picture disc, and I'm gonna do like a CD and a T-shirt with that anime character on it, and it's gonna be a beautiful package, limited to maybe about like 200 copies, and there you go.
And Marco told me it's going to feature the new Drum Talk TV logo. And wait, what? Just kidding. But we'll put the link in there. It's only $15 for great music. But Marco, I want to ask you, we've never talked about this. What did you previously have an attraction to Japanese culture, music, or anime? Oh, I did not know that.
Always. Japan is probably one of my favorite countries in the world. And
best food in the world, the most elegant people. Absolutely. Yeah.
It feels safe, it feels nice, and there are beautiful experiences. And so but that was really not the key to make an album like that, I really would have to point out to Kotono there, because she brought the whole Japanese culture into that album, and from our friends from Baby Metal and those people we always now hang with, it's sort of kind of cross-pollinated, and I just decided
That's
to
organic. Yeah.
yeah, to also make her happy with that, because she was kind of having a bit of a tough time earlier this year, and almost was about to give up singing and dancing, and I brought her back into having joy
Really?
with music. Yes.
Why was she looking to give it up?
Well, yeah, she had a bunch of bands, and she's not that old, but she's still very young. But she had a bunch of bands, and it kind of didn't go the way, it went with like production teams and stuff like that. She felt she didn't feel too respected, and it was very cool to see that I got her out in public again. That for me was, I think, the most joyful chapter to see of the entire album, that I can give her something on the way and for the future, that I got her back out, and that she received so much love and compliments for her voice. I know it means the world to her. So and that multiplies, that happiness multiplies, and that was like, it made me happy. That was really the main reason. Yeah.
I love that, because this, for those of you who have not heard this, mark my words, this easily could have been an amazing instrumental album.
Thank you.
Adding her voice brought it to a whole other genre, a whole other level. It's just, it really is magnificent. I want to put a comment up here by Daniel Philpott, a great drummer, guitar player. He says, I've always wanted to ask, how hard was drumming in a space suit? Marco has to be the only drummer who's spent, and that was with our friend
Paul Gilbert.
Yuval. Yeah, Yuval Ron from
no, it was Paul Gilbert.
Oh, it might have been Paul Gilbert as well.
It was Paul Gilbert first, but then Yuval also had like a thing with spacesuits.
There you go.
So he was aware of that. Honestly, the spacesuits we were using was the outside of the spacesuits, and since in space, you kind of move around, you're kind of floating, and there's like the gravity missing, and all kinds of things. So those suits are actually very light. They're like literally just a thin cloth, kind of,
Really?
No, yeah, you don't really feel it. If you have the whole suit on, you don't really feel it.
That's
it's
hilarious.
Like they're actually very light. So it was very easy to play with those.
That's funny. Marco, what newish in the last 5 years till yesterday, what newish music is out that you like? And do you get a chance to listen and explore to new music?
Yeah, I listen to music, whenever I'm exposed to something that is cool, I obviously advertise it, and there are like some cool, wonderful bands out there, of course, in the last 5 years, and now I have to think about it, because, I really like the band's Battles, the first album called Mirrored, with John Stanier on drums, who's meanwhile also a veteran from Helmet and stuff, but he has like a really cool band called Battles. That was one of the newer, in quotation marks. Well, that stuff is already also like a bit older, but that's cool and fresh. It was like a refreshing thing to hear. And Field Music, friends of us from England, two brothers, I think their work is fantastic. They're really a great band. You name it. I sometimes forget, because when people play me some stuff, I obviously pick and choose. I wasn't prepared now for the question.
No, that's okay.
Send something back.
Recently, both Stephen and I, once together and once 2 days apart separately, saw two legendary artists that had they're not new. Well, one of them had some new music. Both of them did, but they were presented in a different way. We both saw within like a week or two of each other Steve Hackett.
Oh, yeah.
And Robert Plant in like a 2-week span. And it was like, oh my God, it just goes to show you that these effers still have it. Late into their 70s, they're still relevant. They're still churning out amazing music and refashioning genres. Like Robert had music, and I'd love to get your take on this.
Yes.
Robert had music that was new as well as some of the 5 or 7 Zeppelin songs he played that were part acoustic, country, Americana, mixed with Middle Eastern and Indian music.
Yes.
And it's like a whole new genre. And then Steve Hackett, who I've never seen anybody get different guitar sounds out of that instrument than anybody else. And I've seen so many people, amazing, but the palm swipe and the squeaks and just, look so relaxed at 77 years old out there, just amazing, you know, and I love seeing that older musicians are still not only enduring, but they're kind of reproducing in a morphed, elevated way. Do you have some artists that you follow that are kind of like that, where they're reinventing themselves?
Yes. So first of all, I think if you are a musician at heart with the passion that kind of drove you to become a musician, and you keep that energy up, or that spirit, then you become, I think, hopefully, like an old wine, you know, that gets better with age, and, you know, tastes a bit richer, and the palate is more refined, you know. And I think, well, some bands were obviously great from the start, you know, from the get-go, but I like it when I hear these people. I played with Steve Hackett. I played, I think, 4 or 5 shows. I once I did the cruise to the edge with him, and on the blue cruise.
I didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah. I played with him. That was a fantastic time. We sounded, I thought, really, really good together. And that was very cool, because I was on the cruise to the edge with my other band. I was there, I think, with Randy McStein by the time, or with the Sea Within. And Steve got wind of it, and he says, like, hey, would you like to play with us for the cruises? You're already here, and would you like? I was like, you know what? I do love you guys. I like Genesis. Yeah, okay, I'll jump in. And we played a bunch of shows and had a great time. Anyway, so he's great, but I saw, like you did, Robert Plant just 2 weeks ago in, where was it again? In a small town at the Valley Center.
I know where that is.
Close to Temecula.
I know where that is. We just drove through there on the way back from seeing him in LA.
There you go.
I didn't know
it was a fantastic show.
Oh my God. Yeah, amazing.
It was a fantastic show. I was not prepared of what I would witness there. I saw Robert on his twice on his solo tour on Fate of Nations years ago. Then I saw him later in the early, about 10 years ago. And then I saw him in the 90s twice with Jimmy Page together as Page and Plant.
Yeah.
This time I thought, like, maybe he's getting a bit older. Maybe, I don't know, let's see what it is. Little was I prepared that I witnessed unbelievably greatness there.
Oh my God. When he sung the Rain song,
unbelievable.
Goosebumps from my bald spot to the bottom of my feet, and my butt cheeks went like, this is just amazing. And I saw his first 5 solo tours. I saw him with Page and Plant. This was a most amazing thing. And we interviewed Ollie Jefferson, his drummer, about a month before the show. So he hooked us up. And we met the band. We met Robert. I don't know if you know this, but Ollie Jefferson's wife is Susie Diane, the other vocalist. That's his wife. Yeah. So we got to hang out with them. And Robert came into the room. And as he passed by, I said, "Hi, Robert. I'm a friend of Ollie Jefferson." He put my hand on his shoulder. He said, "Sorry, that won't work." And he kept walking. but we did get some time with him. And I just loved that show. I love Arabian music, Middle Eastern music, North African music, the stuff he did with Jimmy, with the orchestra that did on the Page and Plant thing. This was amazing. And his voice, where did that voice come back from?
Yeah, I thought that he sounded great. He was in good spirits. They changed the setup a little bit. We were waiting for the Rain song. They didn't play the Rain song, but they played maybe different songs. They played from Zeppelin. They played a lot of the Robert Plant stuff, which was beautiful, I thought. And the Zeppelin songs, they did Friends. They did a Black Dog at the very end, and Whole Lotta Love.
Gallows Pole mixed in with
Gallows Pole and 4 Sticks.
4 Sticks, and
something else, right?
Yeah. Besides the Rain song, Steve, help me out if you're watching. If they didn't do the Rain song with you, they must have done. Oh, what was the other song they did?
Well, they didn't do it on that show, but it was okay. It was. I didn't miss it.
Amazing,
I
right?
mean, I love that Rain song, but the show was that good. Nothing was missed. It was like, wow,
Right.
this was super cool.
And he sounded just amazing, just amazing.
I fully agree.
Another comment. Let's see. Javier Cardiano says from OC, California. Yay! Near my hometown of the San Fernando Valley, not too far. Love all that you do. Do you plan to? Here, I'll just put up on screen so you can read it.
Oh, there you go.
Do you plan any new instrumental videos for advanced drummers? I'd love to see you do some double bass instruction.
Yeah, instructional videos.
Transform.
See, on and off, I post something still. On and off, I do that. But it's I just love writing music. That's the thing, just creating and playing also guitar and that kind of stuff, and that's really my passion. But on and off, I explain how these kind of patterns work and how I come up with. So watch my my Instagram and Facebook and on YouTube, and there will be like some things. If somebody has a specific question, I'm more than helpful to explain. Or happy to explain.
So congratulations on this amazing album.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Such a great collection of musicians. And now, of course, it's time for yet another Marco Minnemann fun fact segment. Bum, ba-dum, ba-bum, ba-dum.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So I've asked you over and over, what do you like to do outside of music? We've talked about Lake Elsinore. We've talked about just hanging out with friends and special beers. What else do you do that you'd like us to get a peek beyond the curtain, unrelated to music?
Yeah, I don't think about. I do like special beers, but I'm not really the biggest beer drinker in the world. That would be Guthrie. That would be my guitar player. He can kind of tell you all about beers. But I'm more a wine guy. I'm more a wine and whiskey guy. So good whiskey, good wine, and sake. Japan. So that I can geek out about, but but drinking only in moderation. I don't like to get wasted.
Right.
Last night I had like a bit of wine and 3 glasses, and I feel hungover. See, that's the thing. But
do you want to know the secret? The secret to not being hungover, not that I encourage people to drink more, because of B12. Drink B12 before, during, and after you drink. You'll never have a hangover.
That's right.
Yeah, a bunch of.
I don't know if that's a good advice or bad advice, huh?
Depending on how you use it. But 5 or 6 of our 11 kids are bartenders at high-end Las Vegas bars, and they turned us on to that, and it really works. I've heard, but that's interesting. So, is there a type of wine you prefer? Is it Pinot Grigio? Is it Moscato? Is it a Burgundy? Like, what do you prefer? What's your thing? And do you pair it with meals, or just drink it on its own with a funnel?
It's a little bit like with music, isn't it? In all sorts of genres, there's like good and bad stuff, isn't it? For your own taste, for your
pair
own
it
taste.
Differently.
So, obviously Cabernet Sauvignons or like Merlots or Zinfandels are beautiful. I like some Pinots. And Pinot Grigio, indeed, for a white wine or Chardonnay can be exciting. I like that. But, more about whiskey, that's the thing.
We have like a whole other level.
That is so. I love that we have meanwhile a hang, almost like a weekly hang at the Rock and Roll Dungeon. This goes out to Rusty Cochran and the wonderful team, who has one of the biggest whiskey selections in Southern California.
Where?
And every time we have a hang and we talk about music,
where
in
all
musicians.
Where in SoCal?
In Murrieta.
Okay, that's right. I grew up in SoCal. I know where Murrieta is.
Yeah. So I'm a Scotch guy. He's more like a bourbon guy, but he also has Scotches. So we always compare notes, how peaty it is, or if it's from the space side, which are all the Glens.
Right.
And so, for example, Guthrie, he likes more the peaty stuff. He goes for the Lagavulin 16, right? That kind of stuff. Or Lafroig, I would also go for these meanwhile a lot, but I'm more like the Glen guy, Glenfiddich 18 or 21. Those were usually go-tos of mine, and there are many beautiful others, obviously. Yeah, but that's not really also like a hobby. That was like where we just got, from food and drinking and stuff. But other
Yeah.
than that, I do my bicycle tours. I love bicycle riding.
Oh, nice. What's the longest trip you've ever been on? Wait,
Oh, you
I
know
mean
what?
on the bicycle, not acid.
Yeah, I know, right? I like that. Exactly. You know what? I drive per day around like 20 miles or something, 20, 30 miles,
Yeah.
something like that. I'll do on and off. But I do that like daily, not the whole thing, but yeah, I do daily my route by the lake and the
Get
river
out. Yeah.
just to get out and then come back and fresh and write some more music. It's good to change, the scenery a
Yeah.
little bit.
Oh, absolutely. I'm in this room that has no windows.
Yeah,
And after some shows, a few meetings, I need to get out.
I
And
know.
I do my container gardening, my flowers. I take the
Wonderful.
4 dogs for a ride and just
Wow.
breathe some air.
Amazing.
So I have a whiskey or scotch story for you.
Oh my
Ready?
gosh. Okay. I can't wait.
Okay.
Here we go.
So one day I hit it big
Aha.
with the sales advertiser. And I went into a bar and I said, give me your best 20-year-old scotch. And the guy said, okay, set me up. I took a shot and I was like, that's not 20-year-old scotch. That's like 5-year-old. Give me your best 20-year-old scotch. He said, okay, here you go. I took a shot. That's not 20-year-old scotch. That's like 10-year-old scotch. Come on, man. I'm paying for it. Give me your best 20-year-old scotch. Gave me a 20-year-old single malt scotch. It was amazing. Be right back. Set me up with more. I'm going to go to the restroom. On my way to the restroom, there's Carmine Appice by the restroom. He held out his cup. He said, that was pretty good. What do you think of this? And I tasted it. I said, that tastes like piss. He said, yeah, it's piss, but can you tell me how old I am?
Oh.
There you go.
Yeah, exactly.
Marco, congratulations on this amazing album. I encourage everybody who wants to explore new music, new genres, more flavors, layers of textures, etc., etc., etc. Expand the colors of your musical palette, whether you're a musician or not. Get this album. It's on Bandcamp. It's NEKO. It's only $15. And we'll put the link in the chat. And thanks for joining us for, the 65th time on Drum
Oh my
Talk
gosh. Amazing.
Thanks, brother. Hang on the line after we say goodbye to the audience. And audience, join us in the Drum Talk TV membership site where you can sign up for Drum Talk TV Brilliance for free. You can join the premium website where you have access to live stream concerts that are exclusively put on for us or Q&As. And just come have some fun with us. But more importantly, we thank you so much for following what we do on all our social channels. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you soon. Happy